And then there was one last glorious full 6-person Battle Royale slate. I do have to hedge that. I know we're going to have PTPs. We're going to have all that good stuff. But as far as the scrolls, as far as getting down into the nitty gritty, this is it, guys. Divisional round breakdown special Thursday edition. As I'm going to be traveling next week, we're going to break down our favorite angles for this slate, our favorite scrolls. We'll roll up our sleeves, get our hands dirty with some of these Buffalo Bills wide receivers, all of that good stuff today on Off and On the Clock. I'm Pete with John and Nez. Let's do it. All right, guys. Here we are, divisional round weekend. How we feeling about this slate?
Bittersweet, man. I mean, it is a fun slate, but like the fact that it is the last 6-person draft of the season. I mean, where did the time go, man? I mean, this season absolutely just flew by. So yeah, it's bittersweet, is how I'd put it.
Yeah, it's bittersweet in terms of how much enjoyment and fun I've had doing the content around it, yet how sweet it's going to be for my bankroll to stem into other sports here going forward. So
what do they say? Time flies when you're losing money, I think is
that is the old adage.
That is the adage. No, I mean, we got some good ball games last weekend. We got treated to some good ones, hoping for more of the same this weekend here. It is a daunting endeavor, these playoff slates, to sit down and commit the hours to watch the games, though. Like 6 island games last weekend or whatever. I could do for a little red zone here and now, but yeah.
Well, I met up with some guys from the Deposit Kingdom on Sunday night to watch Pats and Chargers, and so we were having fun. But I knew if I was at home, I would like the first commercial. I'd be like, all right, I'm out. Like just like the second I had to wait for it, I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. But yeah, I know what you mean. And we were treated to 4 awesome games off the rip. And then things kind of petered out there. Although, Nez, we got to hear about your business trip. I know it didn't end how you wanted, but how is the experience going?
Didn't close the deal. Not quite. I mean, you want to talk about like downtime during a commercial. There's nothing worse than Christian Kirk converting like a 3rd down with a 30-yard bomb and then going to commercial and just like sitting there like, fuck, man. Like it's so like Woody Marks 10-yard run after 10-yard run. And then you just go to commercial and you're just like, you're cold as shit. Just like deflated. Just God, man, you know, it's over, but you got to see it through.
There are no amounts of Michelob Ultra that can cope the pain of 35 yards from the slot demon. There is no amounts.
Need a little something stronger there.
I was gonna say, Des, are you 2 for 2? Are the only games you've gone to this season? Did they both feature the Houston Texans?
Yeah, that's very funny. Yeah, I had the scouting report and I knew how things could just like go awry. And I didn't expect career high out of Woody Marks in that one. That's you're never going to win if Woody Marks is reaching career highs. That's just like, that's exactly what the Texans want to do.
Because the game we saw Woody Marks, he had like 32 carries. It was something absurd, right? But they were all for like 2 yards in a cloud of dust. But I mean, I thought for Monday was his best game of the season as a rusher. I thought he looked awesome.
Dude, he looked fantastic. Let me tell you, he looked very good. But we had fun. You know, I got to see my family, you know, real quick. But not what we were hoping for.
Yes. I know a lot of people are still in the playoff best ball streets. We got Mikola here, I think. Gross Run Bat have a Mitten 2 fully duped, 0% to advance at a 94 projection. I want to say I saw a screenshot of this Micah 123 team if you want to take a peek. I'm not going to pull it up right now, but I will take your word for it, and I will commiserate with you on that being very bad.
I mean, if only there were a program out there that was telling people the benefits of scrolling down so that they are not duped in playoff contests. If only there was a program out there that preached ways that this could not happen.
Yes. Also, I need to do this PSA because I keep seeing it pop up and people asking about the Mitten 3. There was an issue with advancing it, I believe, because there was overlay. So there's some wild card element to how to advance those teams. They hit a snag with it. They said they were going to get it done today. I would assume that's probably imminent, that would be advanced. I would mention, I should look up his exact Twitter account. I would follow TJ on Twitter now. He's been doing a lot of updates. Maybe one of us can get that in the chat. But if you are looking on, I'm pretty sure TJ will do a post when that is that finalized.
Yeah, it's TJ and his last name here. I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay, I just grabbed it. So I put that in the chat there. He tweeted about this yesterday. But yeah, I certainly am sympathetic to the comms being a little disjointed and not knowing what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk some ball. I've done about 15 drafts, so I have a little bit lay of the land. Wouldn't say I feel like I know every nook and cranny of this slate. 8 teams, so 2 to 3 quarterbacks not getting drafted in all the contests. So we got some kind of fun stuff to discuss with the onesies. And then the wide receivers, I do think is pretty fun, like picking your favorite wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. Running back feels very straightforward to me, but I guess that would be my quick macro here as I pull up the ADPs. What are you guys seeing with this slate?
Yeah, I did 5 of them this morning here just to get a lay of the land there. I've been focusing pretty heavily on the multi-sport stuff right now with the dog bowl qualifiers and such, but I think running back feels pretty strong. No, is that the word we were looking for when you said straightforward? Because I think it looks pretty strong on the surface. No.
Well, I guess I was framing it through the lens of scrolls. Like,
sure.
I feel like you want your running backs early. I think there's room for creativity, at wide receiver, but I don't know if I want to be getting creative with Ty Johnson at running back.
Sure. Yeah. No. Yeah. I got you there. Then yes, we are all in the same line of thinking there, I believe, as long as Nez is on board.
No, yeah, I think running back is pretty straightforward. I still, have
other slate, Pete. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's defaulting to that one.
I still kind of have, some worries about James Cook against the Broncos. But yeah, I think otherwise it's pretty straightforward here. The one thing that I just think, is not correct is like we're still drafting Ken Walker over Zach Charbonnet, and I'm not really quite sure why. But otherwise, I think it's pretty straightforward. We know where the volume is. It's just like what side of the coin is gonna show when we flip this thing. I think that's what makes this slate a lot of fun is like there's still a good bit of ambiguity, I think, in terms of like what these runouts could look like for these guys. So yeah, good slate for, getting different and getting weird, I think.
Yeah. And I also think looking at the totals as well, and just kind of how I see things playing out. I mean, I think we're going to have a lot of defensive battles. I'm kind of like leaning to the unders in a lot of these games, which makes me kind of want to correlate more, like hit on the one offense that scores 30 points, have their quarterback, have their running back, have the wide receiver. Definitely open to a lot of team level stacks and even mixing and matching. Like I was saying on my fantasy life show, like running back, tight end, similar to like the Swift Loveland thing last week. Like I'm pretty into correlation on this slate.
Cool. Yeah. I like where you guys are at macro there. Obviously, yeah, no total over 46.5 here. 48.5. There you go for the Bears and Rams. But it's interesting that Bears and Rams one highest total on the slate, yet it's going to be an East Coast off the water game there. It's going to be cold as hell at first kick there, and you have like a dome team traveling east for that one. Potential snow in the forecast there, so I don't know how that could impact offense too if people are aping into that game. Niners haven't been able to score any points on the Seahawks this season, so that's a fun dynamic to talk through as well.
I'd like to just apologize for our homeland viewers. John did not mean East Coast; he meant Midwest.
Midwest.
So,
yeah,
thank you. Before we lose every viewer in here, the good US of A, they are traveling to the Midwest, and it is going to be cold as hell. It is going to be cold as hell.
Yeah, I was pulling up. I just did the show with Yuta and Brick. If you guys are looking for some more divisional round takes, and we did pull up the Roth weather report. Single digits, really cold, but he didn't really think wind was going to be a major factor. So it just kind of comes down to how much you think in your bro science model that frigid temps are, because historically that hasn't really impacted scoring on the whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially when Stafford is like overwhelmingly like QB1 in terms of like passing numbers right now by the market. So, I mean, I'm not letting it shake me, but good angle.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Allen is going first of the quarterbacks, pretty much not slipping out of the first round, and then Stafford kind of a fixture of the second round. You'll see the Adams drafter grab him sometimes at the turn. Obviously, the Puka drafter is not going to let him go twice on the other end. I was doing some drafts on stream earlier, and people were taking Stafford naked. I now can't really remember if they backstacked him with a Rams tight end, but just to Nez's point, like people feel very confident in Stafford and have no problem kind of playing him any which way on this slate.
Is that the game that you guys would want to go to? Like, you guys are into correlation and stuff like that. It's the highest total. It's, middling priced on our slate outside of Puka. Is that the game you guys want to go to?
I mean, if I'm stacking a singular game, I think that is my preference. Like, just if I could have any game, it would absolutely be this game. But like, if you are trying to game stack in the effort to win a GPP, I think maybe you game stack a different game. But that is like my favorite game. Like, I'm not gonna say it's not. Like, it absolutely is. But if I'm trying to think of an angle to like, get different, I'll say a different game. But I think it's very easy to see how this game goes off.
Yeah, I think it's the best game to stack up on Underdog, both because of the total and also how the pieces work. The fact that you can get the Rams tight ends. Rome Odunze's ADP is kind of in a limbo area, but he really is the odd man out. And I think there might be a little market overconfidence there in how to order those Bears. So I think there's some creative ways to play that game. I think my second one would be Seahawks and Niners with a similar thing. Like, you have some Seahawks pieces. I think Darnold's getting underdrafted relative to that team total and how good the spot is. And I think the Niners are the kind of team you can bring back. You pick one of CMC, Jennings, or Tongas as the bring back. So I think that's a close second for me. But yeah, I like both those.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to play that game without CMC, though. You guys feel similarly or no?
I hear you, but I think with the quick hitter stuff, at least Tongas too at the tight end position, I think could easily get there as a one-off, but I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, like, I understand that Seattle's been all worldly at stopping the run and stuff like that, but the last time they faced them, no Trent Williams there. Like, obviously no Kittle as well in that game, so no Kittle in this game. I don't know. The CMC situation is a very interesting puzzle piece because I think you could take him at 1-1 and be like crazy overweight this week if you wanted to, if you believed in the spot and you believed in, like, hey, third time meeting, maybe they finally find some success. But man, Mike McDonald's renowned as like a defensive guru. This is why he's there. And like their run defense and their defense in terms of DVOA has been otherworldly. So it is pretty scary.
I agree, man. Like Who Hames is wondering, like, he doesn't understand why CMC isn't the 101. And I just think, well, first off, there's some risk of ruin there with CMC, like you just mentioned, John. And two, I mean, I think the running back pool is like much deeper than wide receiver too, as well. I mean, like, after the top three wide receivers, it gets really, really, really shaky. I mean, these top three wide receivers separate like nothing I've seen.
And I'm willing to even say top two. Like, I do like Adams, but yeah,
sure. Yeah, coming off the hammy. Yeah. Let's
and to your point, when you look in the range, let's say from what, like this third, Sutton, where that starts, like Sutton through like Marks, like this range here, like Marks, Ramondre, Sharps, like you're going to want the running back. If you're just looking at pure projection, like the running back's going to project better than all of those wide receivers. So I think like the comfy optimal construction is you start with Puka or JSN, and then you get one of these running backs in round 2 or 3, ideally 2 of them in rounds 2 and 3. And then you go back to quarterback wide. If you were looking at just like pure value over replacement, like optimal drafting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's your guys 104 this week?
Cook.
You're going Cook? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Cook spot. I was surprised Nez didn't like it to start there. Like Buffalo's been really good against the air, but hasn't been good against the run.
Denver?
Yeah, Denver.
Or sorry, Denver. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's Devontae. I just really prefer getting one of these top 3 wide receivers. And I just feel better about these other running back spots than I do for James Cook. Yeah, I mean, I hear you on the matchup and everything. I'm just not entirely certain that the Denver defense is going to, give James Cook like the score you need to have at running back this week, which is what you're asking for. You're drafting him RB2.
Right,
and I just do not think that is a very likely range of outcome. I think you can, the ceilings are there. It's James Cook, but I just see this game not going so well for Buffalo. So I don't have a lot of James Cook in my portfolio right now.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I also just think like the James Cook games become James Cook games really quickly, where they do have that, where he's getting 30 carries and you're just like, all right, this is how they're playing this one. But Josh Allen looked really good as a passer last week. I think it's going to be hard to move the ball on Denver either direction. It's more just like, I hate even standing for James Cook in this spot, but it's just like the options after that. You could talk me into Harvey being in that conversation. I think I still have a hard time with like Adams or Kyron over him though, I think.
Yeah. Just sorry to circle back on James Cook for a half second. It was actually crazy last week that I started jamming some of his receiving stuff once we got the Ty Johnson out, and it just like didn't matter at all. It was like still he was like 60% of snaps. Doesn't matter that it's the playoffs, it wasn't whatever. It was just like a 1-for-1 role replacement kind of thing. And it was just like, nope, that's just Ray Davis and Frank Gore Jr. Their music now. Like those guys played like big snaps last week comparative. And like James Cook role didn't change at all. It was like, oh, okay, I guess that's good to know.
Yeah. He also lost, he got stuffed at the goal line once, and then they went back to Allen. So I think you can see ping pong stuff there. But the point is definitely taken as far as it being a tough matchup. Why don't we just we can be kind of position agnostic. I think we just hop around to spots or things we think are interesting. I do like the scroll quarterbacks. Obviously, they're not near as well positioned as say Jordan Love was last week as a scroll versus the Bears secondary. But between Purdy, who's playing really well and getting the ball out quick, Darnold, who I like this matchup at home versus the Niners, and then Stroud, New England's been fine, but this isn't a Houston or Denver level defense. I'm fine going to all 3 of these guys.
Yeah, I think I would say Sam Darnold's my favorite of the bunch. I'd go Sam, Purdy, CJ in that order. New England can't get after they can't get after the quarterback unless your O-line is the Chargers. But theoretically speaking, the Chargers should have found a little bit more success, at least away from Christian Gonzalez in that game. I'm a little hung up on CJ being able to be effective through the air without Nico Collins, though, because I'm kind of just treating it like Nico Collins doesn't play ball this week. Carted off concussion. Maybe there's different rules for concussions in the playoffs, but that would have been an absolute no-fly zone in the regular season.
Yeah, he didn't practice today.
Yeah.
That's bad news. I am pretty much calling him out for my intents and purposes. So I don't love the CJ Stroud stuff, obviously for that regard, but I don't think that means that the Texans are fully off the table. We just saw Christian Kirk go for 144. Well, I did with my own eyes, and Woody Marks also do well. So, there's different pivots there, but as far as CJ Stroud goes, I don't think he's necessarily the way that I'm playing that. So I'll have no CJ Stroud. I can say that with confidence, but Darnold, I really, really like Sam Darnold. I think that, there's a lot of reasons why people are off Sam Darnold. The Seahawks run a lot. They, Sam Darnold, the last time we saw him in the playoffs was a disaster. I don't know. I mean, people thought that Sam Darnold wasn't a good best ball pick as well. I'm of the belief that Sam Darnold can put together a really, really good game. And it's extremely easy to take Sam Darnold with the idea that he's going off because you're just doing it with JSN. Like, so you're killing two birds with one stone there, where like JSN's going off and Sam Darnold is going off. And then if you can easily do a bring back with the Niners stuff, John, you were talking about can't do it without CMC. This is the one time I think you could, throw Tonjes in there. Jawan, if we don't get Ricky, Demarcus Robinson. So Darnold and JSN, I just think makes a ton of sense, especially if Darnold's going to be QB7, like all day.
Yeah.
All day.
And based on like these ADPs, these top 5 are going in, 90+% of drafts, maybe a May or Bo Nix slips outside of it if people are trying to get specific stacks, but it's really this cohort of Purdy, Darnold, Stroud, who are all going to be sub 30%. And I definitely think that Darnold and Purdy would be on the higher side, and Stroud will be the one who's like sub 15%. But I think even though he's not in as good of a spot to use the Jordan Love comp again, I do think the potential to hit on like a double low owned stack, with a Higgins, with a Kirk, with a Schultz, who's, I got to imagine Schultz's ADP starts to creep up here as the Nico stuff gets more solidified. But all of those stacks, you're getting that double low owned dip that I always like.
Yeah. I think it's a really good point on the macro there that you made, Pete, is that like it is ownership this week is more like stars and scrubs than any other slate we've had all year. So like, cause like the line in the sand is actually like 90-20, 90-30. It's like polarizing, opposed to like in other weeks when you have 12 games to choose from, it's like 75%, 65%. Like, it's like there's more fluidity because there's just options to take. This is extremely polarizing, where it's like, it's literally 95 or 20.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Let's bounce around. What other spots are you guys interested in? I think the wide receiver stuff is where like if you can tell me which guy's going to do the Christian Kirk impersonation this week, you can win a lot of money.
Yeah, you could potentially win all of it. I'm struggling still. Like what I keep going back, what I keep thinking of right now is just like Khalil Shakir being like not way undervalued, but just like I think he's my wide receiver 4. Like in terms of guys that go behind that big 3. I think I feel the most confident about Khalil Shakir, just like the great game script that I've painted in my head that I'm clearly like not wavering from, right? Like not liking James Cook, but like thinking that Khalil Shakir is a good play is like kind of obviously going hand in hand there, where I just see a lot of dropbacks happening for the Bills. And Shakir, awesome job. 12 for 12 last week. I mean, only for 82 yards only, but I mean, he was the guy. He was the absolute guy for Josh there. So I think with or without Josh Allen, I think Khalil Shakir makes sense as like a priority target, man. I think like there's some really, really shaky floors after Devontae, and Khalil Shakir feels like the safest one. I mean, leave it to me to point out the floor and call it as my favorite play. But I think that matters. I think that matters on this slate.
He's definitely also the safest floor.
I do want to point out that I said last week the player who would piss me off the most going off would be Khalil Shakir. Now, I think you can argue that 14.2 points didn't necessarily transform the slate, but I will say 12 receptions after he had not topped 6 in weeks almost fulfills the criteria of the Pete Mush into the guy you want to write off as dead. But Nez, so tell me, because it sounds like you're into the Bills passing game, not the run game.
Yeah. I think the Bills defense is just really shaky, and Denver
Broncos. Oh no, for getting him in a negative game script.
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I have a lot of confidence in the Broncos to be able to score points and run up points on the Bills. And I mean, I have a lot of respect for this Broncos defense as well. I just like the way that I see this game playing out is like Bills are trailing, and I just don't think you're going to be able to establish it with James Cook. we've seen them go away from James Cook like instantly, man. Like if they are down, like it's over for James Cook. Like he's on the sidelines. We're wondering why James Cook gets 50% of snaps. And it's just like why don't they just play James Cook? That's the way that I see this going. Like I just see the bottom kind of falling out there and seeing a lot of dropbacks for Josh. Like we're not talking about quarterbacks, but I think that makes Josh Allen, if you buy that game script, it makes Josh Allen a really appealing play, because if you're not getting a top 3 pick or a top 4 pick, how are you outscoring Puka? If you think JSN's going up, how are you outscoring these guys? Well, you're getting a different position that nobody else can. You're outscoring a position that they can't get to in a really big way with Josh Allen. Then you get a pretty easy stack with Shakir and the other pass catchers as well, because obviously I like them all, given how I'm seeing this game go.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see the game going the same way as you. Like this has been like a pick 'em line or like a one to either side that's flipped back and forth like multiple times. Like the Broncos have played some ugly ass shootouts against good teams. Like, like the Jags most recently with them like 3 weeks ago. Like they can play these back and forth games. I think we're giving like the Broncos defense a little too much credit there. I don't know. I'm not going to I understand that the whole wide receiver corp's like depleted, but I'm not going to ape a dude who's like a 1.8 ADOT guy. Like,
Sure.
The nicest thing I can say is that like he's playing away from Patrick Surtain and he's like the quick release valve. So maybe like all those running back, like dump off style stuff will go Shakir's way. But like, I do think he is like a little bit more floor than ceiling. Like I'd rather chase like the Brandon Cooks in the last round or like a Keon Coleman where they go like 48-1 and it's just like one big play that gets you home with your last wide receiver slot. I think my favorite way to play that game in particular is just naked Josh Allen. Though like it's just, man, if they find a way to win this game, doesn't everything just funnel through Josh? Like Josh was perfect last week. Like undoubtedly he was perfect last week. I just think like if you're looking for like slate breaking ceilings, like it's really hard to separate at quarterback, but if Josh goes 36, like, I don't know, man, this could be a pretty low scoring slate outside of that. But I guess we're kind of
the only counter I would say is like he needed 2 rushing touchdowns to get to 30. I think he can combine for 3 touchdowns again. And to kind of Nez's angle, I would not be shocked if it was 3 passing touchdowns this week instead of that. And I think in those scenarios on a shorter slate where it is a 3 touchdown game and maybe James Cook gets the goal line carrier, he just doesn't get shut out, then like you're gonna want at least one of those guys who catches a touchdown. Maybe one of them's Jackson Hawes and you're not getting on it, but probably it's Shakir, Kincaid, or Cooks getting the other one, you would imagine.
Yeah, little Curtis Samuel coming back from the IR this week.
Him. Yeah. God damn it. All right, now I'm back to naked Josh Allen with you. I do think I don't mind Kincaid. Just again, tight end position, correlate it. Yuta made the case a little bit ago, like he's still the one guy you can make a case for seeing a routes increase, like in a really important game, which I know we're running out of games for the increase to happen, but I don't mind that angle either. But yeah, it's tough. Timmy says, I've clicked Curtis Samuel. Am I a sicko? I do not think you're a sicko this slate for if you have a lean on a low owned wide receiver, like this is the slate to do it. You like Cooper Kupp with Darnold, go get him. You think Keon Coleman steps up this game, knock yourself. You think Xavier Hutchinson is the answer with Nico out and Higgins drawing a little more attention? Like you can sell me on these and I won't tell you it's too thin down here this week.
No, the answer to the test is, hey, last week it's the playoffs. All the good players are going to play. All the wide receivers are going to smash. Only good plays can win in the playoffs. And you get Christian Kirk, Jalen Coker, Romeo Doubs, and DeMarcus Robinson all under like, 5%? All under like 2%, most of them. And that's your leading 4 wide receivers.
Can I give you
the yardage?
And other than Coker, I would say the common theme, and not that you want to overfit this, but those are all veteran wide receivers who have played a ton of football in meaningful football. Like that, there is something to that too of like, could Cooper Kupp be this week's version of the Christian Kirk play? Like a guy who's played a lot of meaningful playoff football in his career that these coaches and these quarterbacks trust. I mean, again, I don't want to overfit that sample, but I do think there is a little lesson in the sexy rookie versus these battle tested veterans.
Right. Yeah. No, well said.
Any other like late, and one of my other, I kind of already mentioned it. I like a lot of the quarterback, running back, pass catcher correlation. So like Darnold, pick your Rams or Seahawks running back, and then a pass catcher, like really leaning into that. Are there any other favorites you guys have here of these names we just kind of rattled off? Basically, let's say after like the Nico stuff here that you like.
My favorite scroll at wide receiver is Booty. I'm not sure how long he's going to be sitting down here, but he's like hardly on the app for people. So I like he's sitting below Franklin and Pat Bryant this week. I really like Booty. Big fan of him. Big playability. High ADOT. Just like the type of stuff that I think on this slate, like we're looking for. Give me one play where like you can be in the optimal lineup, or you can help me, crack that top 10. So I really like Booty. And then just one more, you talked about Cooper Kupp, man, like as like a veteran guy. I just think, get Seattle in, at like the 7-yard line, or like, the red zone, or, in that inside the 10, and they actually don't run with Sharps. Like Cooper Kupp's basically like a tight end in that regard, and running those short, quick routes in the end zone there. I really like Cooper Kupp as like a scroll down option, because I think Seattle's going to drive the ball at will on the Niners.
Yeah. And I think one thing I like about the Booty play, he strikes me as a really good one-off one, because he'll be paired a lot with probably Drake May. If you miss out on Diggs, yes, Henry as well. But I do think you'll just see a lot of May to Booty stacks. But if the volume is lower in that game and Houston's getting to May, you can certainly see scenarios where May only scores 15, but Booty hits on the big play, and like he gets to 15 or 16 points. And like, that's a nice little edge. It's not always going to be the Jordan Love to Dobbs where they both hit in tandem. Like, I think he is a use case where he could be a one-off that hits.
Yeah, no, I like that call a lot.
I like to speed up the game, guys. We talked so much about pushing game environment here. Like, I like the big play guys. I mean, like, you give 10 days off to the Seahawks, and like, what if they just start using the guy they traded for? Like what if Rashid Shaheed is
seems like a great idea, but I don't call plays for Seattle.
Yeah. Like the concept of a plan, right? And I like the Pat Bryant stuff too, like kind of usurping Troy Franklin down the stretch here. He's kind of the inverse of the narrative we just spun with like more veteran guys. But I don't know. Like I like taking a shot on kind of like these bigger plays, speed up the game guys. Cooks and Coleman, same way for me. You could overfit Pearsall. Pearsall's definitely that guy. I'm scared how limited he might be, and what they saw from Demarcus Robinson last week might just be enough to be like, yeah, this is why we signed Demarcus Robinson in the offseason.
I just have a punch up to Trev's comment. He says Seahawks spent the last 10 days dialing up a 50-yard shot play to Shaheed. Seahawks spent the last 10 weeks dialing up a 50-yard shot play to Shaheed for this week. They've saved it all for the playoffs.
The two nice things I could say about Shaheed is the carries angle. Like, he has had like those end around. He had one touchdown called back on one of those, and he scored one, or at least had like a 40-yard drive or 40-yard play on one of them on a Primetime Palooza slate there. And then he scored a special teams touchdown as well. So you get a little bit of equity. The shorter the slate gets, like some of these special teams kind of low-key matter too, just because it's an added explosive touch.
Yep. Any other kind of notes on this? I do feel I haven't done enough drafts and where I'm, I really am seeing things clearly. I do think it's going to be a slate where I'm going to, pull up my solver and as my lights go off here and really make sure I'm thinking through my combos, just because it is the type of slate where you can get funneled to a lot of similar combos over and over again. So I'm going to want to be, I think, pretty intentional about how I round out my drafts. But I think I'm going to run back what I did last week. I had my best week of the year last week, guys, and I only drafted 75 BRs. So I like having the pressure off, not to max, and see if I can do it on, Sam Sherman-esque volume here again.
There you go. Nice. Taking a lesson from the king.
See,
that's right.
Last week we saw the double scroll at the wide receiver position. Beautiful team from Finding Value Fantasy that won there.
Yeah.
The double scroll at wide receiver. And a lot of people in the chat kind of like mimicking that. Like they were saying like, oh, it feels like a 3 wide receiver. We're talking about the wide receiver scrolls. Like those are kind of like the more big play upside guys. And maybe this was a huge fault of my week 1 that on the shorter slate dynamics, I basically exclusively built 2 running back teams and was like, give me the 10 touch guys, and one of them falls into the end zone. So I was way overweight last week on Corum, Menungai, and Ramondre in particular. Those were like my 3. I might just run it back again this week when when we're dumpster diving at those wide receivers. I'm getting way more excited about the opportunity that Corum or Menungai could have in the highest total slate than some of those wide receivers. But I don't know, maybe if we get a similar ownership discount, but it's hard to get that ownership discount at the running back position opposed to the wide receiver position.
No, I don't mind that. I'm not going out of my way to do that, but I was going to pull up one team I did if I could find it, where I think like both Sutton and Diggs fell a bit, and I was able to get like 3 wide receivers that I really, here it was. Yeah, I got a Puka, Sutton, Diggs team, and then I did Corum as my late, where I'm like, if I can get those 3, basically the Shakir Diggs is the last guy, I'm then willing to go and do the Corum Menungai as like the cheap RB6 hammer, just saying I'm going to beat you in the flex with a higher projecting wide receiver.
The vast majority of 1-1-3-1s that we'll see this week will be CMC teams.
Right.
Yeah. And this goes...
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and this goes counter to that build. So I love this from like a conceptual angle of just being like, hey, Puka outscores CMC, and then Corum's like the 3rd or 4th highest scoring running back on the slate, but nobody else can pair these 3 wide receivers together.
And 3rd or 4th highest scoring running back on the slate is going to be probably a pretty low bar. Like that could be a 14-point score on this slate.
You might not even need a touchdown pending how all the games play out. You could do it on like, 10 for 80 and 2 catches. Like you could do it with like 11 fantasy points, 10 fantasy points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would bet it. I would bet it will be, low scoring flex. Like you might not need a double digit score. Yeah. Like it's maybe a little evergreen, but like it's just like getting a couple of those like 20 or 30 balls on your squad and hoping that you don't have any landmines to go with it, because we're going to see some guys that get drafted 100% of the time put up fantasy scores of like 2. There's some awful floors that exist in this player pool, man. And go ahead.
No, to that same point, Nez, the fullback dive winner from last week had Josh Jacobs in it. That was like 5 fantasy points. And, you take down $6,000 in the $25 contest. And it's all because it unlocked the skinny stack of getting to Jordan Love, who ended up being the highest or second highest scoring quarterback on the slate. But it was only 17% owned, right? So it's like, if you just, I don't know, change your frame of mind a little bit, where it's like, we just need to outscore our opponents. We don't need to score the most fantasy points. Right. And it's easier to do on these shorter slates.
We haven't really talked a ton about tight end. Let's talk about it. There was someone in the chat earlier who was like, why isn't Colston Loveland the 101?
Great question.
I think taking him over those top 3 would be crazy. But if you wanted to play him at 4, I don't think I would give you a ton of pushback. I think the reason my answer for 101 is those other 3 guys from a raw points perspective just really pull away from him from a ceiling. Like Loveland can get 20 for sure, but he can't get 35 like Puka and JSN and CMC can. And I think, to what we were just saying, raw points are going to matter on a slate like this. And I think you can win 2v2s with one of those 3 versus like the Loveland in the late pass catcher, even if he scores 20. But I also think he still, as good as he is, like he doesn't separate even as much as you would think projection wise from like Henry and Schultz and that. Like it's not like McBride level. Like McBride in this spot would project for even 3 to 4 more points than Loveland.
Yeah, like change his name to McBride, and we'll start having the conversation of flipping him, and you're only going to flip him to 104. Like even if his name's McBride, right? Like it's him versus Allen as the conversation. So it's like if you think Loveland's on that level, by all means. But like the scroll tight ends, man, like if you get 1 touchdown from the tight end position and only like 3 of them score on the slate, the ability to separate just like won't be there. Now, if Loveland scores 2 touchdowns or he does what he did last week with 130 yards or whatever it was, like, yeah, sure. But like, man, there's 3 Rams tight ends to choose from, and 2 of them scored touchdowns in each of the last 2 weeks there. And, you know, we're going to find like 10 fantasy points here. So it's like, who cares if you get 19?
So are you guys like not into Loveland at ADP?
No, I am.
No,
I just am not taking him over Puka, JSN, CMC, Allen.
No,
Cook.
I'm not exactly sure how serious that comment was, but no, I really like Loveland. I think Loveland should be going higher, and the fact that he isn't, you really kind of have to keep that in mind, in my opinion. I think being cognizant of like where Loveland has gone is important. I think that absolutely limits the exposure that I'm going to have to Colson Loveland, just because like I am a little worried about the combinations that exist with Loveland, because I think he's just like a smash this week. You've got, you know, the matchup against the Rams where the Rams should be able to put up a lot of points, and Loveland with 15 targets, dude, for the Bears. I mean, just like far and away their best pass catcher right now, on the field a ton. I love this kid, and I just think that in terms of like the VORP conversation as well, yeah, I mean, one of these guys catches a touchdown, and like he's not separating quite as much, but I think Loveland is such a good pick. I think the ADP makes sense where he goes, but like I would take him over Kyron. I have taken him over Kyron. Just feels like a really good play to me. While we're on the conversation of tight ends and roster construction, like John was talking about the 1-1-3-1, I kind of like 2 tight ends this week.
Ooh. Whoa, that's a dirty word. You're not allowed to say that on the program. Not allowed to say that on the program.
I think 2 tight ends makes a lot of sense.
I assume though you mean with Loveland locked as one of them.
Ideally.
Oh, you are a sick pup.
I know.
You're telling me you're out here building Tongass, AJ Barner teams?
Pete, don't give me any ideas. I mean,
well, I want to know what's the grossest 2 tight end room you would do, or what is a room that you do that doesn't involve Loveland?
I mean, you start off with like CMC, two wide receivers. I would do Schultz and a Ram.
Okay.
You know, get really deep just to show off.
I think I definitely have just the whatever the equivalent of sticker shock is of just, you know, we don't do it over and over again. But now that I've had a second to sober up, I mean, when you look at how the late round wide receivers project, and it's like 4 points, that someone like Schultz, who I do think is objectively mispriced right now, if Nico is out, is going to project for more targets than any single wide receiver you would select in the 6th round. So, all right, I'm coming around.
I like pretty much like we'll call it from Schultz up. I like these guys more than every wide receiver after Stephon Diggs by ADP.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking Stephon Diggs,
we're talking floors, not roars, is what we're talking.
And I think that is kind of like the combo too of like, you know, even how Corum or Manungai project relative to maybe a second tight end. And I guess it is just the thing you sacrifice with the second tight end is really that ceiling. You are getting the floor a little bit more, but Like, are you boxing yourself out of like a 15-point score and settling for like a 7 or 8?
Yeah, I guess that is the question. I don't really like these wide receivers that exist. I mean, I'm down for Booty and Cup, but like I kind of want to bypass everything in between.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, John.
We talked about this last week. What do you think Colston Loveland's utilization report score was this week? With Rome back, with Burden,
102.
Playoff game. Again?
98.
I was joking. I said 102.
It was basically 102. It was 100 again.
Yeah.
Even introducing those bodies back in. And just for research sake, I just went, and utilization score doesn't necessarily translate to fantasy points, but it's just it's a nice barometer. I'm going through week by week on Trey McBride, and Trey McBride didn't have one that was greater than 96 this season, and now Colston Loveland has 3 of them. Like, that's kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
3?
Very good.
Yeah. 3 100 utilization weeks.
I don't know why, but it just makes me mad that they didn't use him at the beginning of the season, because he's clearly ready to play football at an elite
level. Had to have been so hurt that he could barely walk. Like, how is this? What took them so long?
Yeah.
Right. It was the thesis, man. It was the pattern matching with Ben Johnson and Sam Laporta, and it was like, so simple, and it fucking kind of worked.
And Loveland's a more dynamic player than Laporta is by a good bit.
Yeah.
Which Loveland's the real deal, dude.
What if you guys got into your head? Rams tight end this week, like Colby Parkinson had the nice catch. Tyler Higbee's 2 games back now with a higher ADOT. Similar utilization report scores. Do you guys have a lean there?
I just want to play the guy going a little later and go Higbee if the people are defaulting to Parkinson.
Okay.
Same.
Cool. Yeah.
But it's probably a coin flip again, like true odds to have the better game. So slight ownership discount on the tails side.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Underdog and Numi for getting us our tournaments back up this weekend. Were you going to say something else, John?
I was just going to say one more thing when people are talking about like just look at Laporta, look at Loveland on the last couple like games here and stuff like that. Like the Bears have had like the 1-0-1 nutted games for like the last 4-5 weeks for fantasy production. And it's all funneled through him because there's been injuries around him too. But like they've just been trailing and throwing. And that's like the 1-0-1 GTO thing. Now, do we think they're going to do that again against the Rams this week? Very, very possibly could be doing that, right? Puka scores too quick, and we just get the exact game script we had last week for the Panthers for the Bears. But like, I don't want to get like too results oriented, but yes, it could definitely happen again where they're literally just trailing and chasing points, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the setup is very, very similar.
Yeah.
All right, let's draft some teams. We'll start with the Deposit Kingdom. We got our 3-entry max, $10 to enter, $900. Yeah, or 900 entrants, $1,000 to first. Let me get that right. I would have to go back to the team and say we can't have a $900 first prize.
What a slap in the face of a demotion.
That's
Give
right.
$900 to first.
Yes. All right, we are going to snap fill this here. We'll see what draft slot we get. We got the 102. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Are you guys JSN 102?
I'm CMC.
Oh,
You're CMC over JSN?
Yeah.
Okay.
I CMC floor ceiling combo is just like the GOAT in my opinion. I'm not overthinking the matchup. I'm not overthinking how unexplosive he has looked. Is that a word? Like he has looked bad running the football. This guy's gonna have 8 catches, man. Like let's just do it and let's pair it with Purdy and see what happens.
Well,
yeah,
John.
he definitely doesn't look good, but like that doesn't matter.
Right? It doesn't.
Yeah,
it's the Kareem Hunt thesis.
Yeah. You heard it here first. CMC is Kareem Hunt.
He basically is from an explosive run rate.
I know.
John, that was all good and well, but you can take CMC over JSN on your own account.
Sounds good.
Boom, roasted.
I normally let John and you guys kind of dictate this, but I decided just in one of our final BR shows of the year to just put my foot down.
I respect
and
it.
you as a Seahawks guy to turn your back on JSN is pretty incredible.
Man, like I think they're a fake wagon. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think
that's fair.
I think their like defense is like really good. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm still blinders up for Sam Darnold and the way he wins football games, and I just have to capitulate to the fact that all he does is win football games for the last 3 years. But I don't know, man. It's just so conceivable that the wheels come off with like 2 quick turnovers that they just fall off and they can't play catch up good enough, even though the Niners defense is bad. I mean, Winhurst's up for Fred Warner too. Who knows, right? Like that'd be yeah.
I definitely like one of the running backs here. Do you guys have a favorite, the Swift or one of the Seahawks guys?
I think Swift. What do you think, John?
I was gonna say do Sharps and just game stack it up and take Darnold here too.
I like Sharps a lot.
We could do Swift and then get one of. He's not going to go Sharps and Walker and get one of them.
Yeah, good call.
No, I hear you, John. Like I think I want to bet when I'm dialing up the bets with my buddies. I want to bet Niners with the points. That 7 or 7.5. Do you guys like Walker here? If we end up going like the Darnold route here,
yeah.
But I still think JSN can hit even in those game scripts. I guess like what you're describing is like pretty bad, like systemic failure that even in like a trailing game script, they're not able to like move the ball a little bit. But I just still think the way JSN hits downfield, it's just so friendly for pulling together. Like I think I know his floor has been a little shakier in recent weeks, but I think, he can get you 16, 17, even in a kind of a bad Seattle game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. From a raw fantasy standpoint, I just hope they don't get like over conservative and just try and squeeze the air out of the ball too early because they're just like, our defense is so good and we can trust it. You know what I mean?
Well, look at this is the 2v2 or 3v3 that Dat Mavis just did behind us. Like really is the decision. Here it is. This is easier to see. So CMC Sutton Shakir versus like JSN Swift Walker. Like what side do you like better there?
I like our build better.
I like the alpha wide receiver and then the 2 running backs in this mid range.
Yeah.
Me too.
Again, not saying I'm going to have builds that look like this. I'm just saying like pure DTO or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as long as going to play the RNG game and do as much of those Puka JSN teams as I can.
Yeah,
they just look better to me.
But like, I mean, nice value on Marks too for whoever gets him. We can wait on.
You do Tungus on the bring back or DeMarcus Robinson on the bring back, and then do the Darnold thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have
like Tungus?
Yeah. Let's do that. And then I'd probably be like Burden or Higgins.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I like the Burden stuff, man. They came out and they just used Burden. And it was like, oh, here we go. And then Rome's foot's broken. Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah, Burden goes. Higgins is the guy I think who gets a little bit of a jump here. I also don't mind like the one-off booty stuff angle we were talking about earlier too.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Or you could go full Seattle onslaught and try and grab another touchdown. But
let's do Higgins.
Higgins.
Yeah,
these are the ones where
let's win.
I'll have lots of starts like this, and then you're just kind of cycling through some of these pass catchers late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of fluidity in the 6th round.
Then you can kind of see how the tight ends are coming off the board. We had a Tungus, Henry, Kincaid round 3, and then Barner and Schultz in round 5. 3 quarterbacks off the board, and then you have like the May drafter waiting, the Purdy drafter, or would it be Nick's drafter? Yeah, Nick's, and then us.
I'm going back in the well here for Tunja's games without Kittle. He had a 358-1, a 741-1, a 6-58, and he had a 760-1. Like those are some nice receiving numbers for a tight end. And now I'm gonna see if Dalton Kincaid had a game better than any of those games.
I like this exercise.
I doubt it.
Dalton Kincaid had a 6-101-1 against Kansas City. And he had a 6-108. No touchdown. So in theory, it's pretty close.
Yep.
In terms of like ceiling games.
All right, so there it is.
My guy Topes. Sorry, I just gotta give compliments to the double tight end scroll.
Look at that. I mean, is there anything more predictable than whatever is the Galbrain idea that we were just discussing on the show getting executed in the Deposit Kingdom stream draft?
I'm just a puppet master over here, Pete. I'm pulling the strings.
Yeah, no, I do like. So let's see here. So he goes double tight end with his last pick. So it's Higbee, the best available wide receiver. If he went, or I guess it could include running back as well. Yeah, so it's like you're making the decision. Do you want Higbee or Corum? Right. I prefer Corum, but I get it. But then once you start comparing him to Rome, Robinson, Cooks, like I think it's close. It's close. I still am going to default probably to the wide receiver running back, but I get the thesis.
Yeah, maybe the stack, can like maybe break a tie.
The Stafford to Higbee. Yeah, he did the double there.
I like that team a lot.
Yeah. I guess if I'm just going to nitpick, I would say I don't. Well, this kind of goes against my,
I mean, I would do Schultz over Barner.
Right. I was saying too, on a Sharps team, like Sharps, you're banking on him getting the touchdowns, which I think makes it less likely that Barner's getting one.
Yep. Yeah, I would definitely say that those two don't necessarily like mesh well without Darnold.
But then my brain swings back in the other direction, and it's just like, if Seattle and the Rams are the two teams that score 30 points this slate, you're not going to care about slight negative correlation between teammates.
Sure. Yep.
And that is why this game is not beatable, or sorry, I was going to say unsolvable.
Easy.
Well, I've proven that it's both this year. So
there you go. All right, let's do a Badge Bros Brawl. We haven't had one of these in a hot minute.
This is where it all goes down.
Don't nitpick me. Sorry, brother. Once you hop in, we basically make you sign a form without actually signing a form. Is that if you enter a Steam draft, you are signing away your rights not to be nitpicked. We are
especially if you're going to co-opt an idea. You are opening yourself up for scrutiny. It's our idea, damn it.
I see the Tunjas comment right above that too. Like Tunjas doesn't really block, bro. Like that's Kyle Juszczyk's music to, with an extra guy on the field.
They just use Tungus like Kittle, basically.
Yeah, well, Kittle's one of the best blocking tight ends in the history.
No, but I mean, like Kittle still runs plenty of routes.
Yeah, I mean, Tunjas ran 65% of the routes or whatever last week. Yeah. I'll actually fact check myself. 61% of routes, 14% target per out run, 10 ADOT, 12% air yards. Like he's not like an inline guy.
Dat Mavis says all of the nitpicking on his roster wouldn't have happened had we just taken John's idea and he could have scooped up JSN. So there you go. Sliding doors moment. All right. I won't overrule you guys in your own Bad Bros contest. Who do you want 101?
Puka.
Oh, now he likes the wide receiver.
Man, I'm very curious to see like what kind of combos you can get with the 101 in these. Do people let Loveland go back to the 101?
Not anymore.
They shouldn't.
Not after those words.
I mean, would Timmy do it at the 103? I mean, a little rich.
A little rich. Yeah, people still loving Playoff best ball.
The
How are you guys feeling about the Gauntlet Mitten returns drafts? I did one, and then I realized I do not have the time for this. I will also say the 4-man drafts aren't as fun, in my opinion. But didn't one of them already come close to filling? Isn't it just
the Mitten returns?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Which means it's almost my turn. Oh, CMC. Oh my God. That would have been crazy.
Let's
on CMC 11.
Let's do Alan Cook and then play off of it. You're not going to have exposure to it in other contests.
Or you can go Allen Harvey. But yeah, you get it unique in this contest.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah. I get the angle.
And then we'll find our scrolls elsewhere.
Yeah. What were we just talking about? Oh, I'm running pretty well in the gauntlet. I have I think 34 teams, and according to PD, 9 expected to advance, which is running pretty hot based on expectation there. So
did you guys see the greatest team to ever advance?
Is it Woods?
No, it was my team with DeMarcus Robinson and Jalen Coker.
Oh, I do have to say, people were commenting on that short, the how low do you go? Someone was like, Pete snicker when John said DeMarcus Robinson. I was like, true, but I also snicker at almost everything John says. So,
this is true. Yeah. That's just the natural knee-jerk reaction. He actually wasn't even listening to me.
Yeah.
Harvey.
MGM, we will get the board up. Don't you worry.
Ooh, that's
Harvey, though, I have no problem with Harvey and Cook in the same game. Or you could play Sutton if you want to play it more that they're playing catch up.
I think I'd play the Sutton angle and then find the running back scroll or the running back from another game environment. I think.
What do you like, Ness?
Let's do it. Let's take Sutton.
All right. Sutton, and then we have 2 more picks. One of them is a tight end.
I would take the tight end and then take whichever scroll running back you guys want.
What about Woody Marks?
Yeah, there you go.
He should be a little lower owned, you would think.
Oh, for sure.
Perfect.
So again, if you guys are new or whatever, these are 3-person drafts. So the scrolls are much different. Half the players drafted than a comparable BR draft. So here's like a DJ Moore is a nice little scroll here. Cooper Kupp's a scroll for sure.
I think you just jam it in with Kincaid with this last pick, right?
Yeah, I mean, Woody Marks is the scroll. I'd be into Kincaid. Like he's going to be based on ADP lower owned if we can get him here.
Yeah, I would say Kincaid or I wouldn't even mind Schultz on a Woody team still, but I think Kincaid makes sense.
Whew, Cole Kmet pick. Let's go.
Wow.
This guy says take your
Colston DJ Moore.
Colston Loveland. 100% utilization report my ass, bro. Yeah.
He said cool stats, Canadian boy. Watch this. Watch this.
Wow.
All right. We have come to the time you know and love. It is time to spice it up, divisional.
Pick'em, spicy margs. Spicy margs.
Radioactive spice.
Let's spice it up, slop it up.
Slop it up.
I mean,
slide.
Permission to slide, Your Honor.
You sliders!
That's a 65X. That makes me feel things. All right. We are here ready to rock. I've already been trickling out some pick'ems for my friends this weekend for our sweats, including being live in attendance for Broncos Bills. Shout out to Aaron. I'm going to butcher his last name, but ATX. He's an off and on the clock viewer. He had reached out, literally saved us like thousands of dollars by face value tickets for the game and us all avoiding Ticketmaster fees and all that stuff. So huge gratitude to Aaron, aka awesome. ATX, for that hookup. But yeah, let's do a little core here, and we can do some fun ones and go out with a bang. Again, speaking of which, the Haterade hit last week. We got to run that back. And my apologies That fucking Dalton Schultz sold out the core. That could have been a massive pick'em day for us there.
Oh man, if we just go the other way and go Christian Kirk slide, we win all the money.
Christian Kirk slide. Then we're retired.
Let's start this one off with a redemption tour arc, boys. Dalton Schultz, most mispriced guy in the lobby right now.
Wow.
Let's just go back to it. Let's go.
Which style?
I'd say yards or catches would be my favorite, but getting the dock on it doesn't feel great. So I'd go with I think I'd go with the yards there. Yards or fantasy points is cool by me, but I think the yards.
That's what I was gonna say. Yards or fantasy points. What do you like, Nez?
Let's go yards.
All right. Back to the well. You guys can't blame me this time. You get to blame John. Nez, I'm going to let you back clean up. I'm going to put my favorite in here. I love the RJ Harvey rushing yard stuff. I think he's going to have more than 55.5 yards in this game. No J.K. Dobbins. I know we're going to see a little Jaleel McLaughlin, but I think Harvey, both volume and with like a chunk rush or two, can easily clear this number.
The Woody Marks of my generation.
It does kind of feel Woody Marksy, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's gonna have his playoff breakout game here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Seattle and take Charbonnet fantasy points.
Nice.
Yeah, like enough said, man. His role is awesome. Really good matchup here. 7-point favorites at home. I think it's gonna be the Sharp show.
Love it. There it is. Easy core. Schultz, higher 40.5 receiving yards. RJ Harvey, higher 55.5 rush yards. Zach Sharbs, higher 10.85 fantasy points. Make sure you guys have the boost. They have been flowing crazy in the lobby. I also got an email. My guy Zach was telling me that there is going to be a gimme pick going live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Normally that would be live by the time we do the show. But keep an eye out for that. It's normally a free pick. I think they max it at 10, so feel free to remember some of our crazy slides that I'm sure we're going to do here in about 5 minutes and have some fun with that gimme pick.
Perfect.
All right, John, here comes the link for both the private chat, the public chat, all of that good stuff. All right. Let's see here. Should we do haterade? Get right into the haterade here.
Yeah.
Good pivot.
I don't have that much hate in my heart right now, though. I like
Better find it.
Well, you had a lot of hate for JSN when I wanted to select him earlier. No, you do have hate for the Seahawks in this spot. Find a way to
Yeah, that's true.
I know what I want to do.
All right,
go for it.
What do you want to do, Nez?
I'm going back to CMC. I'm taking a lower on CMC rushing yards, 54.5.
Just keep hit. 50. I was like 50.5. I went to that thinking that was rushing. That's his receiving. That's hilarious.
Yeah. This dude, this is crazy. I got the lower CMC rush yards. Are they going to be able to rush enough times for him to garner 3 yards a carry to get to 54.5? I'm not exactly convinced.
Nice. Yeah, I love how he's just turned into like Kyron Williams, man. Like it's just so funny.
Yeah. He's like late season Kamara, dude. It's insane.
You guys want to hear something crazy? Receiving yards in the pick'em lobby right now. Wide receiver 3, Devontae Adams, 54.5.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like that's 4 yards difference than the running back. Like that's crazy.
I know.
Yeah. Dude, I can't even, the pick I wanted to do for haterade, like the market already hates it so much that there's no, I was hoping that Trevion Henderson stuff would be a little inflated and it's so low.
It is
5 fantasy points.
Trevion Henderson, 6.5 receiving yards.
It's crazy, dude.
Like we thought that was his music. We thought that was his bag.
I know.
We got that one way wrong in playoff best ball. Second round pick, Trevion Henderson.
I got this one for you guys.
Yeah.
This little bit of dovetail here, but with the Sharbs fantasy points means the Ken Walker rushing yards lower.
I love the idea of cross correlating haterade with
With the core.
With the
Yeah.
core. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're cooking.
The correlation.
Man. Nez, will you be offended if I hate on Khalil Shakir?
No. By all means. I mean, what do we got?
Let's see here. 48.5 receiving yards, 5.5 receptions, 10.05 fantasy points. I think the fantasy points, I know he got there last week without scoring a touchdown. But it does feel like, all of his other typical games where it's like, even he scored back against Cincinnati, he's 5 for 65, 4 for 34, 6 for 35. He's not clearing these 10 fantasy points. So I think he could PPR scam a bit and still stay under 10 here. So I'm gonna hate on your boy Khalil Shakir.
I can't wait for 6 for 38, baby. 6 for 38, and we slide right in there, and we would have lost it in every other way possible other than the fantasy point.
Wait, how does 6 for 38? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
6.
So we win the fantasy points, but we would have lost on receptions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
in.
the lead. I would do my order of doing the haterade would be fantasy points followed by receiving yards followed by receptions.
I mean, game of his life, and he had 14 fantasy points.
All right. We're going to lock that one in there. And then, you know what we should do for this one? We haven't done this in a while. And obviously, if you guys have some slides you like, we should. But we should do a progressive touchdown one. A touchdown from each of the 4 games.
Very fun.
We did one last week, but we did Blake Corum with the first one, so it felt like we didn't do any of them.
Oh, I literally forgot about that.
Yeah, it was over before we knew it.
Oh, that's awful. Well, I mean, first game here, Bills and Broncos.
I feel like
Allen
you're
feels fun.
Yeah, Allen, Cook, Harvey, or Sutton.
What's the Josh Allen price tag? Is it even money again?
It
it's
was
1x.
even. Okay, this has been pinging around. It's back to even, which I like.
Yeah, me too.
It was like at 0.9 yesterday when I looked. So yeah, that's nice.
Nice.
The other thing we could do is we could do 2 in each game, like one from one side, one from the other, and then next game 1 and 1.
So that's what I do for my buddies, like just because we want to simplify. I'm not saying we can't do that. I'm just saying for that, it's like nice to simplify the sweats of just one play. Whenever one team has the ball, there's like one clear thing you're rooting for, and you don't need a bunch to hit. But yeah, I did Cook Sutton on our touchdown one that I built for us. And then I do a 2-leg core for us. And I did Josh Allen fantasy points and the Harvey rush yards. So I've just been doing the little twofers. But yeah, why don't we do one from, we can do that. We can run 2 from each.
No, let's stick with the original idea now that you're doing that already with your buddies.
You can tail those. If people care about those and want to tail my my buddy pick'ems, I can share those with you guys as well. What in the Sunday night game, who do we want to score? Niners, Seahawks.
I think we're Team Sharps guys, aren't we?
1x.
I think that's good at even money.
Yep.
Because I assume the other ones that you'd want are all.
Yeah, like Walker's greater than 1x, but
still
just 1.68.
Yeah, that would be the bomb. I mean, JSN's even money too, which isn't bad, but yeah, Sharps. Okay. Next one.
Texans. Let's see here.
And
what's Ramondre? Ramondre's 1.04.
Ramondre seems fine.
And then what's Mark's? 1.22. Wow. Do you guys? I feel like it should be one of those running backs.
I'm a little scared on the Marks scoring from like he scored from like 10 yards out. Like, you know what I mean? They used a lot of Chubb. Like they used 11 touches to Chubb. I'm a little scared if they were literally first in goal at the 1 that it might be Chubb.
Yeah. What about, Ramondre, dude? Like he's just been a touchdown machine. He didn't score last week, but he still is just always has the nose for it.
I like Ramondre. The only
like
if
that,
I was
John?
to go spicy, if people are looking for spicy alts, I would say Drake May rushing. But
That's fine too.
Yeah. But I think
both
Ramondre,
him and Knicks, I like the rushing numbers on their
Mhm.
TDs.
Yeah.
How about this? How about we do Stevenson here, and then we could do something with a Knicks and May as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the final game, lot of options in this one. I'll just to give us some, like, if you do Puka even money, you're at a 10.04. And so it's just what multiplier range do we want to be in? David in the chat talking about Caleb.
These Devontae numbers are ridiculous, dude.
Devontae's even lower than last week.
All right.
That's crazy.
Wait, so Devontae higher probability than Puka? Wow.
Yeah.
I would trade that against that.
Yep.
Should we just do Puka, or should we just overthink it? Like, this is.
Yeah, no, I think we should do Puka before this moves.
Yeah.
I think that's 174. Quorum's 147. That's not crazy.
Yeah.
It's not even that crazy.
You know what we should do? Because David, like Caleb, we should do a 4 quarterback touchdown one.
Yeah.
That's Allen, Caleb, Nix, and May.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's do it. That's a fun one.
All right.
I don't know how we're getting a Shroud, like CJ Stroud fumbles one. Man, like, he didn't fumble like basically all year with the exception of last game, and he fumbled like 3 times or whatever. But like, I don't know if I'd be going back to that well. I think that might just be variance and anomaly.
Yeah, I don't think that's absolute pattern matching.
Yeah, like fumbles aren't sticky. Like, I understand like center exchange stuff,
and he's playing the Patriots, who like can't get to the quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I appreciate the suggestion in the chat. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna agree with that.
So this rushing touchdown one, 44.83x. Allen,
that makes
Nix, May, Caleb rolling into that last game with Caleb left would be an electric sweat.
Oh,
this actually feels incredible.
Numi's gonna invent a cash out button for us. If that happens. He's gonna be calling the devs. He's gonna be like, "Yo, we can't have this." So often on the clock's taking down the site.
That's right. All right, I got time for a couple more. Do you guys have any guys you want to slide, like a little cheeky 2-leg slide?
Let me think. I mean, like, I would love to slide Loveland targets.
Yeah. What's it at?
6.5.
Like,
6.5. That's not bad.
Yeah, just take it to 10.
Wow, he's been at 10, 13, and 15. Yeah, this feels like the Michael Wilson thing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, you should probably slide something opposite it, because you're basically painting the game script, right? Like, doing 2 touchdowns on the other side is like how you get there, right?
What if you did a Quorum and a Kyron TD opposite it?
Like, truly sick behavior that I fully agree with.
Let's just see what that comes out to. So yeah, Quorum's 1.47. Kyron's 1.07. So that's a 25x. Yeah. So Loveland 10 targets and each Rams running back scores a touchdown. But you can also do Puka, right? Because we just saw that that's essentially the same as the Kyron. You need Quorum to get the good odds. So do you like Kyron or Puka?
Let's stay consistent and let's do the Puka then.
And because it's just like, it's less likely that Kyron is scoring if Quorum is.
Yeah.
That's still a 22. Do you guys like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
So we got Puka, Quorum, and yeah. Okay, cool.
You could also, if you like the multiplier, like, you could do Puka 10 catches, for a 1.6 as well if you wanted. Would give you a little bit higher. Just depends.
I love that. I should have never found out that Loveland 9.5 targets was 2.3x. I'm just gonna put everything with that for the rest of the day.
There you go.
That and
What do you like?
Steals.
Do you like Puka TD or Puka 10 receptions?
I think TD.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Man, you know what another good slide candidate in that game is? Luther Burden, 89.5 yards is 4.5x. 4.9x. That's actually crazy for just like a 100-yard game.
All right, let's get the Slappy the model here. What did you say? Burden
Private chat, please, Pete.
getting hit from all angles here.
I know.
Please, private chat coming at me. What was it? 38.5. You slide all the way to 89.5.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but 4.9x for that. Ooh.
All right, let's each get. I know Nez. I know you love the Loveland slide, but pick it maybe just because I do think if Burns getting to 90 yards, maybe Loveland.
No. We need a pivot. We need a pivot here.
I want to do a Harvey slide on rush yards. Let him really cook up here.
You know what pairs well with a Harvey slide? Like one of these Coleman or Cooks on the other side, like one of these dust ball receivers.
We're already up to a 50x here.
Just
how about you want to run this twice, once with the Burden and once with Loveland?
Yeah.
Obviously, Burden is what's mega juicing it at 4.9. But yeah, Burden 89.5 receiving yards. Harvey 99.5 is a clean 50x there.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, what do you guys think Brandon Cook's receiving number is right now?
30.5.
20.5.
28.5. Wow, 20.5. That's so disrespectful, dude.
to Brandon Cooks.
All right. Any others? Any final Hail Marys you want to throw here?
I better not.
If I speak.
Easy to build 50x on site.
Oh, buddy, the site credits were gone long.
These are withdrawable funds, my friend.
Actually, that's my favorite bit is in the Discord screenshotting that it says 0 in the bonus funds and it's only withdrawable funds. I love doing that.
The only other thing I would do.
Yes, if we just gave Nez enough rope, we'd figure out something.
You didn't end the show fast enough, Pete.
Nope.
I would slide Dalton Kincaid.
Okay, let's cook.
I would slide his receiving yards, I think.
Okay. Does that say 37.5? Yeah.
What number do you like, Nez?
I mean, I would just go all the way, dude.
Let's go all the way, dude.
90?
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's do it opposite the Loveland target slide.
Now you're talking my language.
Nez needs a cigarette over there.
Cracking a window in here.
All right, that's a clean 45x there. There you go. Tight end view.
You're going to be in the house for that one too, Pete.
Oh,
you're going to see that in real time.
Oh, man. It's going to be fun.
Are you going
the weather's and I told you, John, we're going to the Avs game on Friday night.
Avs are so fun to watch right now. Well, in general, but they're the best home team in hockey too, and they're so effing fast. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, we ponied up for good seats for that one too. I'm stoked.
Good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and the weather in Denver is nice right now. So
most sunny days of the year in Denver, right? Isn't that the old adage?
Well, my dad said he ran his sprinkler on Christmas Day. That's how hot it had been in Denver.
Wow.
I don't know if he just ran it just so he could say he ran it on Christmas Day or if he actually needed to, but the point still stands.
turning to slush as it goes.
Yeah. No, there would be kids. There's this one kid in my high school, Scotty McDowell. He was a beast, offensive line. He wore the same thing to school every single day. He had cargo shorts and flip-flops. and it did not matter what the weather is, but I just have these visualizations. I remember days with like 6-8 inches of snow or whatever. He's just trudging into school. But then because you get the Colorado swing and it'd be like 60 degrees by the end of the day, it all melts. Then he walks out and I was like, Scotty, you're on the right side of history there. You do. It's going to really turn around here.
That's such an offensive lineman thing to do.
It was
Scotty forever skating to where the puck's going, not where it's been, right?
Yeah. Where's my guy Ron, who I haven't seen him in a while. Has Ron been in the baseball thing? Is he getting back in there? My guy Ron Nathanson?
I haven't seen him in the chat yet. No.
All right. I assume he'll come out of hibernation for some dinger talk here soon enough. All right, John, you speaking of cross sport, multi-sport athlete, you're going to be running a Membies only right after this.
Yeah, I got to do right by the people on a dog bowl day. So we're going to get some of that in there. And then speaking of dingers, did one earlier this week on Monday if people are interested in that. And both Nez and I hopped on with stacking dingers last night with Billy Jones and Dark Sheep there. And that'll be coming out tomorrow. So yeah, tap in for both of those. TBD on content tomorrow. Not going to lie, we've done a lot of fucking shows this week. So maybe Nez does a little something. Maybe I hop on, maybe I don't, but we'll see on tomorrow.
Yeah, TBD.
All right, TBD. There you have it. Obviously, no shows for me tomorrow. If you're looking for the divisional round takes from Utah, that is on Lulz. Otherwise, I will be traveling this weekend, and I'll be back in the saddle. Probably we'll try to do a recap of the weekend on Tuesday, since I'll be flying back on Monday if you're looking for a portfolio review. Otherwise, good luck, enjoy the games, and may all of your mittens and gauntlets and bigger mittens and littler mittens advance. And we will see you guys next time for an Off and On the Clock. Peace.